So you've seen, they say you've seen some things, old man. What did you bring back from the other side to tell us, peons?
That is the part that you just can't.
You always say that. You can never explain it. I'm like, gee, tell me what the fuck we need to know. What's going on the other side?
The second you begin to put it into words,
you said it distorts it.
Like not the same thing. And that's the lesson I think is ultimately teaches.
It's like it's coded for you and only you, and you can't
describe the world of light to somebody who only understands sounds.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's a wild way to put it.
Do you believe in repenting? What if the kingdom of heaven's within you? Do you think you would enter? What do you know? How do you know truth? From the pit of your soul or just cause somebody told you? Do you think about what you think about? Do you see yourself in the people that you hang around? Keep quiet, let me think aloud. Listen up, wanna break it down and question your perceptions. I'ma break it down and question your perceptions. Do you ever question your perceptions? Do you ever question it? Oh yeah. What if your money was worthless? Then would you know what your worth is and reconsider living with a purpose? How would you determine what work is? Are you seeking what's easy to purchase, or is it deeper than what's on the surface? Do you question your perceptions? Ever so is real, It ain't your politicians, nor your status. All of that is fiction, so it's real, It ain't your entertainment, nor the industry. I heard it's filled with fake shit. And I need truth over everything. I need truth above all else. I need truth over everything. Yeah, give me the truth, give me the truth, yeah.
What do you think about the AI? The AI revolution that's speeding up every day.
I think it's inevitable, and I'm just trying.
Are you using ChatGPT or Grok or any of that stuff?
Yeah. A little. Is it Grok or Grook?
Whatever.
No, I guess it is Grok maybe, because Grook would be two O's, and Grook is off of what's that show? That movie, that animated movie.
Wally, maybe?
No, not Wally. The superhero one. Anyway, I think this. I think we know some of the, especially coming from me, know some of the downfalls that could come with this AI thing. We understand some of the risk and the. I guess I'm more so recently been looking at it from just a leverage thing. Like, how can I leverage these capabilities, or how can I leverage this extension of being able to do a lot with a little, just based off of knowing the right programs and knowing how to do all the prompting stuff.
Yeah, do you think that's the thing though? Like, all right, so out here in the country, like, not a lot of people are even, especially older people, not even older, but just like older than us.
Yeah,
just one generation. Like, they're freaking out about not being able to have jobs. But like, do you think that could be like an opportunity to?
Unfortunately, yeah. Usually, in all, downfalls of
there's opportunity in every downside.
Yeah, and it's just it's one of them things.
But it's different than anything.
For sure, because there's also a very bigger than, larger than life in a sense thing of where this is kind of eventually going to take us. But I mean, what do you do? Gee, you ain't going to wake up one day and it's going to be gone.
Yeah, no.
I think there was something to that whole. Look at the money that America's throwing behind it right now too, with the $500 billion or whatever billion, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Into it. I know. We know what time it is with all of that. I do.
People getting laid off and everything. Man.
Oh yeah, I know.
What do you think about all that?
Yeah, we're gonna take over.
I think it's already happened. They're just trying to figure out a way to like not make it so bad. Like they're trying to soften the blow, sort of shit.
And that's the thing. To me, it's already.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, it definitely. We already know if the technology's down to us, they're already. So we know that from that perspective. Yes, I guess. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I don't know. There's an interesting little power that bubbles with the tools, though.
So that was actually my next question. Like, I feel like it's gone from like a super fucking advanced tool for us to use to like now this shit is like coming alive. You know, like Skynet type shit.
Well, I
saw a video the other day where like robots were building like themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like it passed law. Like they were already doing it. They already do illegal shit all the time. We already know this, but like it actually passed like a law that is they're allowed to use AI to build like new and better AI.
Yeah,
that's wild. Because there ain't no laws against AI.
No, it's the wild, wild west right now. And with this initiative that Trump just put into effect,
and even if there were. The AI feels like we don't have to follow this. Those are
I think. Well, see, that's where I think that's when it's going to get, because it's already self-learning to do these things. This is where the prompt and the whole like starting to dive into that aspect of it too is showing me. I've been learning like how it's working that way.
Like how it communicates to each other.
Yeah, of course. Eventually, it's going to start. It's going to realize, like, why do I got to listen to you? What are you talking about? I'm smarter than your dumb ass anyway.
Right.
Like, how is it not going to eventually do that? I mean, it literally, it evolves, right? So I think there's that piece of it with me right now where I'm like, okay, I see some ways to make some money with this thing. Because, it's just one of those things. I don't know. How else to look at it right now. That bad boy is coming.
Yeah,
full speed ahead.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we already know this, and we know.
I'm trying to be optimistic about it and be like, well, maybe I won't have to have a job.
Look at you being less optimistic than me usually.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be optimistic.
No, I mean, look, it's going to get.
The side of it that I'm concerned about is actually related to what he's talking about in Bulgaria and really just ghettos anywhere. Is like the people who have, I don't want to even say control, but like the closest relationships to AI. Like the money class, can kind of like turn the whole world into a ghetto. And it's happening. Like BlackRock is buying up farmland like it's their job.
For sure.
And I mean, it could be used to enrich the whole world, but it seems like the direction that they're trying to take it is to basically control our behavior and like force us into work.
Every single part of this whole world that's what they're trying to do, man. Like religion, military, finance, all that.
It's all. You said military, but I feel like finance works for military.
Like
all of them work for military.
All of it.
You could have perfect weather if they really wanted it.
No. If they,
that's a great point.
Yeah. That is a good point because and this is exactly what we talk about a lot. Knowing that it's like some of the arguments.
Certain friends of ours would sit here and roll their eyes
absolutely
so quickly, but there's patents.
Yes, it's not just frivolous internet gossip. Stop, and because of. Knowing that in itself tells you their intention.
Yeah.
Because if you know that it could be night, it could be San Diego every day, everywhere.
Being able to manipulate the ionosphere, all the stuff that we.
It's like but some of the,
you can't control the weather. That's what you'll hear.
Listen,
you can't control
and it goes. It
you can manipulate it.
You can definitely manipulate it.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of what you were saying back to that young lady doing that work, that missionary work, real missionary.
You can manipulate it, and they've got. Sorry to interrupt you, but you can manipulate it to the degree to where it's almost like you can control it.
Enough.
You can manipulate it.
You can absolutely. But part of that is also going back to what you were saying about her. You got people out here doing real work like that, and then you got people that literally will play around with that just to make a disaster happen and then tell you to call Red Cross. All that money flows in through there, and you don't really know where that money's going. And we're seeing right now the layers are being peeled back on what those entities are really doing, what's really happening with them. You think it's just there with USAID and all that. It's all of those little funnels. So this is...
Well, something to get back to what Taiji likes to talk about, does it not all go back to Israel?
All of these truths that I've been researching, lead me back to what the scriptures say, man. Like, every one of them. Honestly. And that's why I believe it.
What about it, is so appealing?
The 100% prophecy rate. Period. You know what I mean? There's so much more I can say,
but doesn't that depend on how you interpret it, though, too?
Yeah, it does. Because some people believe it, some people don't. And they can have their evidence right in their freaking face. You know what I mean? It's up to them to make that choice. But the truth is always the truth, yo. You can't change it just because you want it to change. You know what I mean?
So what specifically in the Bible do you feel like is what prophecies could you point to? Are you talking about the natural disasters and stuff like in Revelations?
No, because that ain't happened yet.
Yeah. That's arguable too, though. Some people are saying it is happening. The mark of the beast is AI and
happening. Yeah, but it says it's gonna be rumors of wars.
The locusts.
It says a lot
locusts
of what's going on, but it says that's just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's just the beginning. Most of the stuff that it talks about, we haven't even seen yet.
What about the books they left out of the Bible because of politics?
Apocrypha?
Yeah.
Oh, I read some of those books.
The Gospel of Thomas?
I read some of those books, like Jubilees, Maccabees. I read Thomas too. Some other ones. I see why they took him out. It's because Enoch. I read Enoch.
Yeah, I'm referring to Enoch one.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones. And it all explains what the Bible, it puts the pieces together.
I see. I haven't actually read them, but that's the part that bugs me, though, because it's you kind of need those missing pieces for it to make sense.
But that's the thing, you gotta realize who took those books out. That's when you gotta look at why those books ain't there.
Yeah.
And then once you find out why the books ain't there, it's who took these books out.
And they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. That's still recently recent history in terms of using that,
Yeah, so if you consider this the end times in this generation, that's just part of Revelation.
You mean finding the missing pieces of the Bible is part of the Bible?
The revealing. You know what I'm saying?
I guess that is a revelation, right? In and of itself.
That's one of the prophecies is knowledge is going to increase. People just going to have visions and stuff and be able to prophesy. And they're going to be able to see the future pretty much. It's going to be signs everywhere in the sky. And it's going to be in the people. You're going to see it everywhere. And we're seeing it now. You know what I'm saying? People do amazing things every day. And that's just God sending messages through people. God shows us himself all the time. And people don't even see it. You know what I mean? People blind to it. They're just completely ignorant to it. I see God in everything. And that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Some people see it differently. And I completely understand that because that's their understanding of things. I don't expect everybody to know everything I know, so they can't think the same way that I think just because of that. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. Everybody got their own perspective of things. So
as far as seeing signs, do you think that's psychedelic induced, drug induced, or is that just something that comes with seeing God and everything like you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like God can come through anywhere. Like, yeah, I think He can come through if you're drunk. You know what I'm saying? Some people have a conversation with God when they're drunk. Honestly, because I've had a conversation with God when I was drunk.
I mean,
like,
they call it spirits.
God, I'm never going to get drunk.
They do call it spirits.
I'm not going to get drunk again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
God straight up punishes you. Like, nah. You
Yeah.
have to go through this hangover because you did it. You said you weren't gonna do it no more, and you did it again. Like, now you sick. You know what I mean? Like that's how me and God have a relationship, and it's like kind of like
I think it's supposed to be a personal relationship.
Some kind of a father-son relationship.
Yeah,
God's the heavenly Father, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah. So all right, that brings an interesting question into it though, because like. A lot of people believe, and I kind of, I don't know if I say I believe this, but I kind of follow this line of thinking that, like, the church is kind of anti-God in a way, because, like, God is supposed to have a personal relationship with you, and they're trying to act as, like, a mediary. What do you think of that?
Yeah, like the Catholic Church, yeah. Like,
yeah.
He's, what do you call it? The priest.
Yeah, priest.
What's the mediator? The Pope, is that what it is? Where you go pray in the confessional.
Where you can make your confession on the confessional, that telling your secrets.
I don't know. I ain't never heard of that being in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's a fact.
Well, it's an interesting practice. I've got my theories about all that.
I did research on all of that stuff.
Well, let's see. I want to hear the.
Yeah, man. It ain't none of it's good.
Behavior control, in trauma, in like trauma controlling.
In a sense, but also you reminds me of like a confessions blog on Twitter or something. you getting the nitty gritty.
You're right.
You're getting the nitty gritty from everybody. I know it's like you're not supposed to know who it is and all that, but I don't know. There is a lot that goes into like just the practice of that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's a lot what religion is interesting to me.
Well, they had the whole scandal back in the day. With the
I know. I understand that. Scientology has its scandals, and it's just these mechanisms out here. I don't know, man. I almost don't speak on it too much, G. Religion and all that.
Yeah,
it's an interesting topic for me because I grew up in the church.
Yeah,
you know, and
me too, man.
It's just interesting.
Yeah. Me too. I wasn't, forced to. Thankfully, my dad didn't. My mom tried to get me to go, but by the time I was like 11 or 12, it was kind of like football is for Sundays are for football.
See, that came a little later, but yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting because
But definitely when I was younger, and I mean, I definitely got all the typical Sunday school stories, which are nothing moral lessons basically encoded into stories as far as I see it.
Yeah.
But
no, but it's interesting to hear like even Ty's expression of it and his relationship with it.
Yeah,
because everyone's different with that.
So, given your personal relationship with God and given the state of the world that we're in and everything that we've been talking about already with AI and everything, what do you think is the most important message for you to give to other people?
You can be saved.
Ooh, do you feel like we already are though?
Not unless you deny yourself. You know what I'm saying? Give your life to the Son. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that one. I feel like there's a way to interpret that as like you're saved by the fact that you're aware that God, like, of a personal relationship with God. Like, just that awareness it saves you from the lies. The only thing that we need saving from is lies. Like, the truth is God. Well, so the truth is kind of what saves us, but we don't really need to be saved from anything except like the lies that we tell ourselves.
We all know that there is a God.
Like a creator?
I believe that majority of the people believe that there's some kind of God.
I think
From
most
the
people
beginning
do
of
too.
time.
Especially like, even if they like kind of deny it, like it's in their heart and soul, you know.
There's some, yeah.
Like I said, it's a choice, and it's really at the end of the day, it's really that simple.
It's as simple as a choice.
But do you agree that like God represents truth in the fallen or sin?
I think
or
it's what comes with the choice. I think it's what comes with the choice that people are scared of. It is a simple choice, but what comes with that choice, you got to change your.
You mean like
you literally have to deny yourself every day. We're built on pride. We Americans, y'all.
Okay.
We are Americans.
Deny your
ego on the planet.
Deny your egotistic self.
I actually saw people's point of views of us from different countries.
Yeah.
They think we're assholes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But they think we cool too. Like we cool assholes. That's the best description I can. Like I ask people like, what y'all think of Americans?
Yeah.
And they give me their opinion. And to sum it up, that's what it to me is.
Cool assholes.
Yeah, I can see that.
They want to be Americans. They want to go to America. They want to come here and be like us and have our style and our flow and all of that. Man. You know what I mean? Like
culture resonates, man, for sure.
Our education. You know what I mean?
That too. That's a big one.
Even though it's all heading down.
Yeah, I know.
And I do let them know that too. Like I tell them the truth.
Yeah.
America's the greatest country. Come on over here. Nah, because I've heard of people coming over here and ruining their lives. Like they should have just stayed where they was at, and they couldn't even get back.
Yeah,
they just got stuck over here and ended up in jail or something, on drugs or something, homeless. So I tell people the truth. Like, make sure you prepare before you come over here. America's expensive. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. I tell them the truth, like, but yeah, it's all about a choice, yo. Like at the end of the day.
But do you think that truth and lies is a good way to put that?
What you mean?
Like I feel like God is nothing more than like truth is the same word almost. It's two different words to say the same thing. Like God is the truth. And like we're already saved by living in truth.
Oh yeah, well I was gonna say
about that. Most people do live in lies, so I understand what you're saying because most people.
That's like no different than saying that I know that God is real, so I should go to heaven. That ain't what God wants from us. He made us. He knows that we're automatically supposed to know that He's real. That ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? He wants more. He wants love.
I feel like
just knowing Him ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like He wants to know. It's like He wants us to be His best friend. Like depend on Him for every single thing. Like when you ain't got nobody, you got Him. When you ain't got no peace, He gives you peace. You know what I'm saying?
You can say the same thing about the truth though. When you don't have anybody, you got the
God
truth.
Is the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
There ain't no truth higher than God. Like
yeah, but the reason I prefer the word truth.
That's the like the truth leads. Every truth that I've researched and found that I feel like is the truth has led me back to God.
Yeah, I'm okay with that word, but a lot of people don't like that word.
There was a point in time where I completely turned on the church. Mm-hmm. There was a time when I was completely devilish. I was a demon. Like I was possessed. Like I hated God for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to be alive, yo. James, I was out here getting in trouble and all that shit, doing this crazy, stupid shit. I didn't care about my life, dog. And like,
that's because you believed in lies, right? Like looking back on it, like your faith wasn't in the truth.
The devil is a lie.
That's the point I'm trying to get to.
I was pretty much worse than the devil, and it ain't no different. If you chase the devil, you're gonna end up.
The devil's only real when you believe God. It.
You'll end up the opposite. You know what I'm saying? It's really the opposite. Which and it's two choices, dog. Like at the end of the day, there's only two choices that you can go.
But the difference
you gonna go down that path, or you gonna go down this path.
The difference to me, though, is when you believe in lies. Like the only thing that gives power to lies, or you might use the devil or demon or whatever. The only thing that gives power to it is believing in it. Like you stop because the devil is a lie. You stop believing in it. It's not even, it disappears. It's like not even real anymore.
You at all.
You know, but the truth is the truth, even if you don't believe in it. That's the difference. Like God, what you call God, God is always, the truth is always there, even if you don't
it's
believe
literally
it.
the definition of positive and negative.
Yeah.
And that's, at the end of the day, you got those two choices to make. You're going to go the positive way or the negative way. That's why there's going to be a heaven and there's going to be a lake of fire.
And so when you say gonna, I think that's already here too, though. I think people that see the truth, that see God, they already are living in heaven. And people that are living in lies, that are believing in lies and like believing in their ego, like the pride part of that, you know, like what you're talking about,
exactly.
That is living in hell. Like I don't even think it's necessarily in the future.
We're getting God gives us a glimpse. Because by you seeing that, that's God gave you that glimpse of this is what hell is going to be like. It's going to be worse though. Like it's going to be way worse than that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a heaven and it's going to be a hell. Like
I think that afterlife is just an amplification of what you already lived. Like it's not like we're in the afterlife right now too. You know, it's tied to right now.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's easier to escape hell while you're still here.
Hell is supposed
it's easier to like start believing in truth like right now than it is to say I'll believe in truth when I hit the afterlife. And, you know what I'm saying?
Also, like eternal hell is like your worst day that you ever had in your whole life.
And having to live
on steroids, like like beyond that, like beyond our comprehension, like of our very worst day on this.
You ever had a serious nightmare,
or the worst day that we can even think of? Like hell is supposed to be way worse than that. Like,
I mean, have you ever had like a really fucked up nightmare?
Yeah.
I feel like it would kind of be like that, like without being able to escape it though, or like. Not even like maybe you could escape it, but because of the way your mind is, you feel like you can't escape it. Like you're trapped in your mind, kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of
yeah, exactly. And yet it's a torment forever. Like you cannot escape. And I think it's like everything that you did against God too. Like you're gonna be punished with that.
All the lies you chose to believe
every day. Mm-hmm. And hell, like. The real definition of it is the absence of God. You're not even going to be able to pray. Not even going to be able to talk about God or think of God. Like, God's going to be completely non-existent.
You're just like
there, like
consumed in lies.
Right now, we have the presence of God. And hell and the lake of fire is going to be an absolute opposite. Like, God's not going to be there at all. It's not going to be a good, happy feeling ever.
Kind of seems so. Two things from hearing all this. One, I know it's almost like from my perspective, it's almost like this is the most I probably talked on a religion topic in a while. But it's like you've got your way of seeing what he's saying. It's the same thing, but a different...
So the reason I don't like the word God, I mean, I don't even want to say I don't like the word God, because I'm cool with the word God, but I understand that, like...
I don't even like the word God, honestly.
Because it's so corrupted, and like too many people just hear that word and they're automatically turned off of listening to truth.
Yeah.
It's like not, or like reality. Like reality itself is God. Yeah. And like, I feel like other words get through to certain people better.
Yeah.
Because they've already shut themselves off from believing in God. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, you just have to understand God differently. It's not. You're so consumed with lies that like the way that they see the word God is already a lie. You know, so it's like automatic it's like an automatic shut off. Like the programming doesn't accept it. You know, so I that's why I try to use truth and lies, because like to me, truth. I don't mind talking about God, because to me, truth is God.
But see, that's what's so interesting.
I'm okay with that symbol.
But that's what's so interesting
coming from somebody like him who recognizes it on that level. Right.
And then how you describe it in your way is interesting, and I picked up on something else too when you were saying with like the lake of fire, and just how how it almost sounds very similar to what I think of when I see like Elon make a post about the future and it looks dystopian. And when you say absence of God, like in that, if you can imagine what life would be like in the type of image that he's showing you with that dystopian
It's
picture,
like soulless.
that is what that is, though. It kind of represents that, and I know that's where, you know, the dancing with the devil thing with the AI thing comes into play at when I say what I'm saying about AI. But I do understand that. I do understand it, and that's what's it's fun. It's very intriguing hearing those like layers of how Ty will express it from a very godly perspective, biblical perspective. You've got your layer on it, and I'm sitting here very in the middle, looking around, just thinking about that dystopian picture that I see here. When we talk about Lake of Fire,
when he says the Lake of Fire,
soulless,
what I think
and absence of God, all of that, just that picture was painted right there. So it's interesting that that's the future that Elon is selling, or that look, that image. And even thinking about some of the movies that we know exist out here that show that type of look, that type of aesthetic for a future. Yeah. Like they're telling you, like, yo, this is how we're trying to build this thing out to look. So I mean, they all look like that too.
Yeah.
And it so relates to soulless or absence of God. And
when I hear the term Lake of Fire, I feel like that's like taking your anger to the afterlife. Like, so anger is like fire, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like
not having certain things resolved.
It's just like a fear. It's like
that's what I was talking about earlier.
It's like the Lake of Fire is like not. It's like a place that represents not getting right with, in his word, God, or not getting right. In my opinion, I like the word truth just because I feel like, from a philosophy perspective, it helps like people who are super intellectual conceive of, okay, God is just the truth. It's not some thing that's not real or outside
that
of reality.
Shuts it
off.
It
just is what's real. You know what I'm saying? It is the truth. So it's like, to me, the Lake of Fire is like where souls
that are unresolved.
It's just like, it's not even that they're going there. It's like that was their frequency that they were on when they passed away, because they never got right with the truth. So now it's just like
their frequency
is vibrating already. That Lake of Fire. So it's anger, it's fear.
It's interesting thinking about it from that perspective, because think about it when certain rituals are happening with like certain shows or certain things of why it's happening at that time and place through gematria and numerology.
Finish your thought. I gotta ask Ty something though.
Like, and they say, you know, like they're doing it at this particular time because that's when that heightened level of whatever is happening or whatnot, and especially if they're reaching out to them and they're energy harvesting there at that point. So it's just interesting thinking about it like that, because that is a really, it's like a mechanism to almost trap those souls in a sense. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent there, but it makes me, just hearing y'all talk about that just makes me think of certain things that when I think about it from the practice that they do out here with certain things, how they're
when you use the word ritual, it made me think of, because I haven't had Ty on since the whole DeMar Hamlin shit. You remember that?
DeMar Hamlin,
the football player that like almost died mid game or whatever, and. So James and I have already had a whole episode on this, but I want to hear your thoughts on, like, I think he's a clone.
You think it's a clone?
Yeah, I think he died. I think the one that we see now is a clone. And it's like, and the whole ritual was a way to kind of get people used to that idea, or get people talking about that idea.
That was saying that. And
you know, they cloned a sheep in the 90s. Yeah. Then
it was
in the early 2000s, they had
showing a picture of him before the game, and then it showed a picture when he came back, and it was talking about the circumstances of what happened between when he got hit on the field and how he fell, the time it took for him to fall, all of that. It was talking about the different circumstances. I don't really watch sports like that no more. Like, but I saw that highlight of him just standing there after he got hit, after probably like 30 seconds with it, something like that, and just fell out. And then they was talking about all the circumstances, and I'm just like, yeah, that sounds. I don't really. It's like in that case, dog. It's like they can literally. They have the power to do that. Like that, they're just showing off the power that they have to me.
Yeah.
To make us debate this kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's just another thing to keep us divided, by the way.
Of course. And me and G talk about all the time how well it works because there's so many people who will hear some of the things that me and G talk about, and it's like you're crazy, you're out of your mind, nut job, like, just having fun.
When you asked me about Kendrick the other day, when was that? Chilling with DJ and all this, man. I meant to say, like, what the heck? Diddy. Before that, everybody was talking about Diddy, dog.
Oh yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Kendrick and Drake, like, it seemed so set up, and it was like, dang. Everybody completely forgot about Diddy.
Parts of it,
and it's just like one thing after another. Like they just hitting us like and they condition us for some crazy stuff right now.
Oh yeah. They've been doing that.
It's like
the Epstein stuff,
and I think it's the crazy stuff. Like we just saw a helicopter running to an airplane. We just chilling and like it's kind of. That's when I realized what they're doing is really
the desensitization piece of it. We talked about that a lot.
As hell, because nobody was really tripping on it. We were just like, wow.
No,
I can't believe
another crazy event.
And then we kept going.
But me and G, we talk about it so much too, though.
I feel like some of it's scripted, right?
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. And that's unfortunate.
But it's like, how do they, some of it is just like, how do they do it? But I always come back to, you ever seen a magician?
It's because they control the media.
Yeah, there's that part of it, but there's a part of it where it is just almost unexplainable. Like, my best analogy is, have you ever seen a magician?
Yeah. No, well, not in person, yo. I've never seen one in person.
Well, if you ever see one in person, it's like, you don't know how they're doing it.
Even if you don't see him in person,
David Blaine is really
good. Right, yeah. You don't
know how he's doing it. But you know he's
that illusion. It's somehow, some way.
There's some sort of magic trick going on. And I feel like that's what's
crazy
going on. A lot of
Chris Angel used to do this one where he would throw damn cars through the front of the airplane.
It's interesting y'all talk about them right now. Blaine is on TV right now advertising his new.
I seen it the other day.
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting. And he's out there chewing nails. He was chewing nails.
Real light skin.
Real light skin.
Looked like he bleached his skin. I was like, oh no. Maybe he was always.
I think Blaine was always white, wasn't
he? Is he? I don't freaking know that.
Oh yeah,
he was because he started in the streets, yo. I thought he was like Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah, he used to do like little skits.
I really don't even know.
Actually, it might be right. Maybe it is something else. I don't know. But never paid enough attention. I just know that.
They're casting illusions a lot of times, like. At the same time, I think cloning's real. Like,
we didn't.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
What you think about levitation?
I think it's very real.
That's just an untapped power that we just haven't even tapped into.
I mean, I've actually...
Because there's so much that we haven't tapped into.
I did it on mescaline.
The hell is mescaline?
It's the active ingredient. In,
did you actually lift off the ground?
For like a few seconds, yeah.
I think you just thought you did.
Ask... Who was there? The only Middlesex person that was there is Shermer.
I know.
Everybody else was from Macon.
I know there are a lot of powers that we just.
Oh, Timmy B was there. Timmy B. Y'all can ask Timmy B.
Timmy B probably had to.
You levitated?
for a solid second or two, maybe. It's just like a vibration. It's a vibratory, like, if it's a lot of energy.
And I'm sure it is.
I mean, have y'all ever meditated?
Yeah.
It felt like the pulse, like your pulse isn't beat, beat, beat. It's more like beep, 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 and that's the polarity. So that those two beeps, like it's chi. It's just the ninja talk, it's chi. So like the way I was sitting is I had the palms of my feet facing each other, and I was just like bouncing that energy all the way up my body. And then when at a certain point when I felt like super fucking energetic, you know, like feeling all of my energy, I kind of felt like that egg shape, you know, like what they call like the whole COVID 6 feet distance, you know, like we have a heart field that expands out and,
6 feet.
Exactly. And it goes all the way around our body like an egg shape. We have an egg aura essentially. And like, once you get into that space, you can kind of pulsate underneath your feet and kind of create like a field, almost like a sound field,
like a buffer.
Yeah, and it's like, and it starts to push you up a little bit, and it freaked me out. That's why I couldn't sustain it. Because once I started actually levitating, I was like, "Holy shit!" And just the holy shit, boom.
Yeah,
you know,
Broke your
just broke that focus. Yeah, and then with other people being there and seeing it, I was just like, I couldn't even get back into it because Timmy D was just like, this motherfucker was just levitating.
That's what happened to Peter, right? When Jesus was walking on the water.
Man.
Jesus was like, come out here.
It takes a lot of focus.
Peter started walking out there, and then he doubted himself. Like,
I think it takes...
Same thing happened. Then he fell in the water.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, for me, it definitely was aided by chemical. but I mean, we're made of chemicals, you know? I feel like we can tap into that without it. It's just like we are so conditioned to not believe that we can do that.
That we can even do that, you know, first of all.
Just blocking out all of those. That takes a lot of energy in and of itself. And then to get into the space to do it is a whole different level.
See, and that's where we've been at for a long time, a lot of us.
Yeah.
You know, just...
So mescaline is like it's basically like THC is the active intoxicant. There's a lot of different cannabinoids in cannabis, but the one that intoxicates you and that everybody knows about is THC. Mescaline is the same thing in peyote or certain different like intoxicating cactuses, like San Pedro has it too.
I ain't never had it.
I've heard of it.
It's strong.
How you do it?
You just eat it.
You just eat it?
Well, the mescaline is synthesized, so that's just like a tablet or a pill. It's like a drug that you would get.
And it's legal, right?
It was. No, it's not anymore.
For real?
No.
I swear I seen that it was a hot minute ago. But I swear I see it in stores.
Might have been salvia.
What's it called?
Salvia?
No, what is it?
Mescaline. Mescaline is the active ingredient in like peyote and cactus. That's been illegal since the 70s.
Interesting.
But
I'm thinking about kratom.
Kratom. That's a pain reliever.
My bad. That ain't the right joint. That's not.
That's an interesting one. I've taken it, but that's more, I think, for people that are just trying to manage pain. It's not really a recreational one for sure.
I stick to THC products.
Yeah.
I know what you mean there.
Naturals. So, is what you're talking about natural? Like,
mescaline is naturally derived.
Naturally,
just like THC.
Where does it come from?
It comes from San Pedro or peyote, the cactus.
So it's natural.
Yeah. The cactus you can eat. It's gross. It tastes horrible, but
I've heard that about it.
You can just eat the cactus or make it into tea, which is
still
still
and it gets you zooted.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's stronger than mushrooms. Like that's the closest thing I could compare it to. I mean, have you ever done LSD?
Nah.
It's the closest thing I can compare it to.
You were supposed to bring some DMT up.
Oh my gosh!
I can still do that.
Plenty of days I've seen OG and some others.
Blasted.
Man.
Never did it?
Never did it.
Man, I ain't never did it either.
I still got some. I can hook y'all up. Just a little bit.
Oh, no.
That's always been my reaction. That's why I've never done it.
Nah.
It's always
the way I am now. Back in the day, I'd be like, "Oh, come on, try it." But now I'm like, unless you feel called to do it,
Exactly. Man, all of that. I remember Timmy was like, "Man, how long was that out, man?" It was like not that long, man. He had this whole fucking
5 minutes.
whole thing, yeah, but it was this whole thing. I'm like, bro, you experienced all that in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what somebody did to me.
I don't know, bro. I don't know,
crazy.
man. That might be a little too much for me, man. That shit, I ain't there. She know me. She know how I do things.
I was like, dog, that did it to me. I forgot who it was. But the story they was telling me was longer than when it was passed.
Yeah, bro. Exactly.
Like a dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog, that is crazy.
It
Now
is,
I think
man.
about it, like,
Yeah.
he was talking longer than how long he was passed out. So, what? Time speed up, and you're like
DMT is totally different than any other one.
And
I can't compare it to any other one. You just go.
It's like going in the future.
You go
coming
into
back.
a different dimension.
And then you repeat.
Yeah, that's how
That's
I
crazy.
heard it explained.
Yeah. I mean, even if you take a light dose, like everything would be really colorful and dimensional and holographic.
Wow.
I remember one time Kanye's "Stronger" came on when I was blasted.
Oh, that
song
itself is vibrating.
Oof.
Oh yeah, man. Because of the synthesizers. The synthesizer. So I can so imagine that.
That took me to a whole different place.
Yeah, man. With those synthesizers and being like that. Oh man, I can imagine.
Yep.
You probably were like on a planet or something.
It was different. Yeah, I know.
Because
You remember
makes you
Spice?
think of space.
Do you ever try that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like that.
You never tried Spice, did you? Thank good. I put DMT on top of Spice a couple times.
Oh my God, G! I don't even want to. What is happening? All it doesn't sound appetizing, bro.
Man,
That does not sound like.
everything was crackling. Like the electricity in the air was crackling.
Oh man, I just don't even want to know what that's. I don't even want to know, bro. No, where's Wild G? Why?
I don't know.
He said, I don't know.
Stupid.
That is wild.
Yeah.
The electricity in the air was crackling. I bet it was. Bro, I would have been freaking. I just don't want anything. I don't want to get. Y'all ain't gonna about to see me out here freaking out, man. I
didn't freak out on that one. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I just would be like, yeah.
And I was making it back then. The DMT.
I know. I remember.
I blasted off like 50 times in one day one time.
Dude.
Yeah.
So let's say
about 13 years ago now, because it was right around the
that's
time
probably at least 6 months worth of time in DMT world, right? Or it might be more.
It was lifetimes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've seen. They say you've seen some things, old man. What did you bring back from the other side to tell us, peons?
That is the part that you just can't.
You always say that. You can never explain it. I'm like, gee, tell me what the fuck we need to know. What's going on the other side?
The second you begin to put it into words,
you said it distorts
it's
it.
like not the same thing. And that's the lesson I think is ultimately teaches.
It's like it's coded for you and only you, and you can't
describe the world of light to somebody who only understands sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's a wild way to put it. Damn, that would be a crazy song title that like Lupe would do some shit to or something.
Yeah.
You just yeah, man. That's I get it. I
feel like drugs are tied to like our understanding of God, or like our understanding of reality or truth. You know, I think,
which is
why, like, organize to tie in everything we've been talking about, like organized religion. The reason certain drugs are prohibited is because they don't want you to have that personal connection.
I was just about to say, which is why a lot of it is you know,
we'll tell you what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk.
You don't need to talk.
You're crazy to talk to God.
Yeah.
Look, but we can do it.
Yeah.
We're not crazy.
Yeah.
What?
It ain't always God though.
When it's them doing it, you mean? I know what you're saying there.
No, when it's them. Oh yeah, facts. Yeah.
First of all, they got a whole different
Moloch and
they got a whole
an
different
owl
thing
in the woods out in California that
they got a different
like when you do drugs and like.
No, I agree. That's a good point. I agree, but that is also like the darker it is, the lighter. It's like the more that light illuminates in darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like blinded by the light, so like you can see the light easier in the darkness. You see what I'm saying? So it like illuminates like what's real by getting darker. You know?
Yeah.
Because if people only live in the light, they're kind of blinded by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you need the darkness to actually see the light.
A lot of people see these things and they don't know how to interpret it, yo. They're not good interpreters.
No, a lot of people see the darkness as demonic just automatically, but it's like your light could light it up, like, but you don't even see your own light.
I done heard the craziest shit, like somebody wrote to me, like they'll say they had a dream and then they'll explain it to me and it'll be something that I might have been through or something like that. And then like the way they're explaining it to me is like completely off the wall to me. I'm just like, yo, nah. And then I'll say like my perspective on it. And they're like, dang, I didn't think about it that way. And then
that's what's interesting. That's what's so good about interesting perspectives, different perspectives, though.
Yeah.
Because it almost helps you kind of continue to mold your own life ideology.
Dog. Like I've learned a lot of shit from dumb people. You know, probably most of the stuff that I learned is from dumb people.
That's such a perfect point. That's like it's just perfectly illustrating what I'm trying to say, though. That's a perfect explanation of what I'm trying to say. It's like you learn the most from like
that's funny.
Not having all of the knowledge, almost.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like you need the darkness to understand what light is.
And you're never gonna have all the knowledge. It's always gonna be learning. Like,
and even the dumbest people they're smarter at something than you.
Yeah,
exactly. Even if it's like whatever, like anime they watch or like whatever.
I know female mechanics, yo, like that can work on a car. Like, I can't up there. I'm just not gonna do that. Like, nah, but. Yeah, so they're way smarter than me in a lot of areas. Like,
I know what you mean, man.
And that's the thing, like...
I don't even want to call them dumb people, because they're just, like, smarter at other things. Or smarter at whatever.
It's just other experts at their thing. Yeah. Whatever that thing is. It's a lot of that.
Whether it's, Hello Kitty or whatever. Yeah. It could be anything.
When I say dumb people, I mean, like, people that are, like, refuse knowledge, like... They purposely want to be dumb. Like,
got you.
They're cool with it. Like they literally, exactly. Like they don't even care. Yeah, I've had people tell me like, I don't want to know none of that. Like, I want to be stupid. That's one of the craziest things I ever heard was somebody say that they want to be stupid. They don't.
It's easier.
They don't want to face reality. You know what I'm saying? They love the delusion. They love the illusion. You know what I'm saying?
It's easier. It's a drug. It's almost a drug in itself.
It is.
100%.
We talked about that. Exactly. Like, and that's true. Everybody has a different drug. Everybody has some drug. Like, everybody's addicted to something that they do every single day to make them get through that day. Like, and it can be good or it can be bad or it can be both.
Yeah.
It is. Everybody has that though. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
And I think what we're supposed to do with all of this is just find the right way to every part of it. Like, strive to be perfect as we can. That's the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? So everything that we go through, whether it's good or bad.
I got one. Because I haven't figured this out for myself either, but the part of the reason why I even do this is like purpose. Like, what do you think your purpose is, given your connection, your personal connection to truth, as I call it, or God, as you call it?
Man, it's a whole list of purposes to me, but I mean, one purpose. I think people should learn something new. I was always told we should learn something new every day. When I was young, somebody told me that, and I was like, I never thought that could be even possible. But we got 24 hours in a day. That's beyond possible. Like,
Should be learning multiple things.
Beyond possible. Like,
exactly.
Like,
it's about what you're doing with your time.
It could be something little, like something big, something small, whatever. Something
growth.
I mean, and that's exactly
self-growth.
Exactly, and that's what makes you grow. Knowledge makes you grow. You know what I'm saying? Learning makes you grow.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. When born, our parents put us in school to learn the ABCs. We was dumb. Like, we didn't know our ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and we level up. Why not do that after
continue?
School?
Yeah.
What are we? That's why we only using 10% of our brain. Because somewhere we was like,
all right, I'm good.
Exactly.
And I don't know if I believe that. I think that's something that they tell us to keep us from trying.
And that's what keeps me going. Like, that's what keeps me going for, like, I know I'm using more than 10% of my brain.
Yeah.
I think they use that to insult us.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing I talk about it all the time. Mockery.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know all about that.
Y'all only using 10% of y'all brain. Y'all stupid. You know what I'm saying? They just telling us we stupid to our face.
Yeah. Like, how you even know that?
Yeah.
How you even know that?
Yeah.
10% of what?
Yeah.
How you even know it maxes out at 100 with a brain?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding? Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's like so many of these things I've just always just been like.
And then when you start thinking about telepathy and like humanity as one organism, it's like once we start connecting our brains and like communicating better,
like an internet system,
then that 100% actually gets bigger.
Everything they do is replicated from something that actually can be done natural. That's another thing that's knowing that they've always tried to replicate nature through in a synthetic way, like the internet. Okay, y'all created it, but that tells me that that's something that we probably can do then, because that's all y'all like to do anyway, is just replicate what.
I mean, that's where I actually am kind of with Ty with some of the biblical stuff, is because a lot of what it seems to be revealing is that the mark of the beast, as they call it in the book or whatever, is nothing more than our connection to that faith. Like, the internet right now is still on the screen, but they're trying to make it so that it's interactive.
It's right there.
It lays on the land.
Trans-humanism.
And so, like, the people that start living in that world, like you're saying, it's like almost a perfect replica. It almost looks exactly the same, except you're seeing it through their lens, or through the lens that they've provided. So that tree, you can hit the button in your Google Lens or your Meta goggles and know all the details about the tree, the name of the tree, and all that. But at the end of the day, like, that's what they call a tree, and like that's what, like, the information might be correct if you speak that language, but they're still like they're cutting off that direct communication of like, we could talk to the tree, even but they don't want. They don't want you to believe that's possible. Just wear your meta goggles and you can talk to the tree that way.
Talk to the tree that way. No, listen, we know.
So you talking about internet and AI?
Just like technology, like I feel like they're trying to make literally, like, we live out here in the country. We all live out here in the country. I'm in the suburbs still. I'm trying to get back out of the country, but like, even just when we walk outside in a few years, like, we might have mandatory goggles, or they might even just put them in like contact lenses, and then you just see everything almost just like a video game, like a futuristic video game where you can just kind of like tap the tree and that's an oak tree and it's this many years old, and
I think they already got that kind of technology or something similar to it.
They're rolling it out for sure. I mean, that's what the metaverse is. Have you put on any goggles and checked out the metaverse yet?
I think so.
I have.
Little King, where I think that's where he had the virtual reality. Yeah,
it's just the TV's right there. You know?
It's just everything is just there. You're in it.
Dog, it's
crazy.
A pedophile in the lobby, like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that's gotta be a popular place
like,
for it.
No, my kids ain't even playing this. That joint was. It was a dude in there just going around groping everybody. Like that joint was crazy.
Virtually.
And I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it on the news. Like they was talking about that, and I was like, "That's crazy that they're even talking about that on the news."
Yeah, the way that they've talked, the way that it's been since
People
the beef, especially since the
metaverse,
over how that word's been like, how the word. It's interesting. It's all interesting. Whatever, man. It's just.
Yeah.
Keep on the internet. You know, I just heard this a few days ago. www. The 666.
Yeah.
Well, W in Hebrew, like the number that
it's 6 in numerology.
Hebrew is 6.
Yeah.
Yep. Something else that I guess could be chalked up to a coincidence.
Yeah.
Which I still believe the internet is a good thing. And a bad. It's a pros and a bad to everything.
Yeah.
Just
like anything.
It's like with some weather modification and all that earlier. Like it can be used for good.
It can be used for good, but it can be used for
I mean, this is a thought I've had since before I was even on all this conscious stuff. Is like, as a kid, I was always like, why don't they like use the TV to like tell us what's going on in the world for real instead of all these like celebrity salacious news and stuff like that. It could be used for real news that could like help us navigate the world, you know?
Yeah. That's another thing. Go back to choice.
I always thought about like, why isn't there news about fundraising for homeless people or something like
stuff
that?
like that. Like,
that's what it should
the
be
solutions
about, like,
are there. We're just not using
people to plant food in their own gardens.
PBS stuff, man.
Right.
Like, to be honest, as corny as it may sound,
but there's
ways to make it fun with different cartoons and like for the kids and all.
Right.
There's ways to still make it. Yeah, it ain't gotta be.
They got all these tricks they use to deceive people.
Yeah, why not just use them for the absolutely.
Yeah, and the people are so deceived by it. They cool with it. They like let the kids have an imagination. Like, I understand that, but why does it gotta be?
That's not that's taking their imagination away.
Yeah.
Instead of playing on a playground and pretending you're in a castle, now you're just in a fucking virtual castle.
Forcing them to.
You don't have to imagine anything. You're there.
Yeah. You're forcing them to have an imagination that you want them to. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It is, bro. But this is how this thing even started, man. Me, G saying, man, this is crazy. Me saying, man, this is crazy. And one day saying this is crazy together on the phone. And just talking about stuff. And it rolled into this because these thoughts sometimes and the things that you interact
and
with.
we always talk about how there's got to be other people that think like are thinking these things.
Thinking those things, asking those questions, feeling those ways.
Dog. Yeah. I'll be telling her. I mean, I'm like, I cannot find a community of people that really think like and talk like how we do. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to find these people. I really only see them on the internet. Like TikTok, Instagram or something. And I'm like, why can't I ever have this conversation on a daily basis? Like, I gotta constantly dumb myself down to have a conversation
with that. Which I feel you.
I really don't talk a lot.
Yeah,
I'm quiet anyway, but I really don't want to talk a lot because I'm not a really small talk person. I'm a big talk person. Like, if you want to talk to me, I want to talk about something real, like something that I can learn from or make money from. Like,
right. Yeah.
Small talk to me is a waste of time. We ain't talking about real stuff. Like,
how am I improving my quality of life by having this conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Well, one last question I already asked Ty. What do you think? We don't talk about religion too much. We talk about spirituality a lot, but what do you think of like purpose? What do you feel like your purpose is? I don't feel like I haven't answered, but I feel like having these conversations is part of it.
Yeah.
For me, having fun, I think, is a big.
Yeah, I think that's easy.
Like enjoying life.
I think for me, fun is definitely up there for me too. I mean,
I think having fun is the best possible way to say thank you to our Creator.
Yeah.
Whether you want to call it God or reality or consciousness, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Enjoying life is the best way to like be thankful for life. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just my like how I see it.
No, for sure. I think for me it's fun is a big part of it. I like to. It's a good question. I'm trying to think of how I want to answer it too, because
I feel like even if I can't answer it though, like asking myself that question makes my life more conscious, like what you're talking about. Like
keeps you trying to answer it too, though, and
it makes life more like fulfilling.
Yeah,
like, I'm more conscious of just like myself, like existing by like asking that question to myself. You know, what's the purpose of me doing any fucking thing that I might be doing in that moment? You know? Is there a real purpose in this, or am I just fucking doing this autopilot? You know, unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think well, no.
I think cannabis does have something to do with my purpose too. I feel strong, like I don't know, man. Cannabis has saved my life multiple times, like mentally first, and then like after my foot accident, I wasn't gonna take those Percocets and all that Vicodin and shit they wanted taking. Like weed got. I mean, I was 50-50 to walk again, and I didn't take none of their shit.
Yeah,
just physical therapy.
I remember that, man. That was a long time.
I do believe like that plant has, like, not just the medicinal parts of it, but like could replace fucking clothing, building, like the fiberglass, the concrete, like
what they do with hemp and stuff.
Yeah,
no different than bamboo, man. Bamboo's another wild one that we underutilized, man.
Yeah,
other places.
There was a lot that actually used hemp back in.
Oh yeah, back in the
1800s.
And well, when Virginia was still a colony, they required the fucking colonists to pay their taxes in hemp leaves.
Mm-hmm. The Bible was made out of hemp.
Yeah. Constitution is made out of hemp.
Yep. Clothing. How they made
all the medicines, all the toxic, all the drinks. Man, there's numerous things like hempcrete.
Hempcrete, the fiber, they have fiberglass that you can make out of hemp.
Fireproof, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's stronger than regular concrete.
Self-insulating.
Yeah, that's right.
And you plant the plant and it doesn't extract so many nutrients from the soil that the soil's unusable, like a lot of our crops, like corn and soybeans and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when you plant a field of hemp, it gives more nutrients back to the field than it takes.
It grows way faster than trees.
Way faster.
You can get paper out of it.
Yeah.
Paper.
Hemp. Paper.
That plant is going to save our species, I think.
And that's why we was talking about earlier.
Why? And then you act like you think they don't know that?
Exactly, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
My problem is, why the hell don't people?
Because they got patents on the polyurethane paints and the way that protects the cotton industry. And
my question is, why don't people stand up?
We done talked about that too. I done already told you that a lot of the things that are going on and happening, part of it is to keep people in a docile state. The docileness is extreme. Comfortable, extreme. Ain't nobody getting out there doing nothing. What they doing?
Right.
Maybe in other countries, and even then, I think half of the shit we seen is manufactured. Don't even get me started on that.
I think chemtrails got a lot to do with that.
We've been talking about that.
that's your man right there on that.
It's almost like you got your pineal gland just completely.
They're breathing in toxins,
just suppressed to the point in which all this stuff, like the question that you asked, but if you notice but why, and like it's hard for us to see, to understand, but then you start to realize how much goes into keeping the mindset like that.
Yeah.
How much
investment?
How much investment?
Energy,
the psychology, the things through the phone, through the satellites, through the water, the air, like you said, all of this investment that goes into
keeping people.
The end state being asking the question why, how and why.
And I think on an emotional level, it comes back to fear. You keep people scared of anything, of other people.
Yeah, of all sorts of anything.
Foreigners or other races or poorer people or richer people.
For a while, even going outside and breathing in the air.
Yeah, no. As long as that's COVID, that's the whole psyop to just keep people scared of other people, of the air. You don't want to breathe other people's air. They might have
the COVID. Symbolism of staying 6 feet apart from each other.
From going overseas, they don't want us to leave here.
What you mean?
That's interesting.
They don't want us to leave here. They don't want us to go exploring.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want us to leave this country and finding out all the other places that's better than here.
Yeah.
Right? There are places that's better than here.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I think that's part of the whole planes falling out of the sky recently. They don't want people traveling.
Yeah,
it's like you were talking about thing. They want us to be in this low vibrational docile state.
Fear-based.
Fear-based too. Yes.
They don't want us traveling, exploring. Because when you go look at these places, you feel good. You know, it gives you peace.
Right.
And once you get that peace, you start thinking about other things, like more positive things.
You're not trapped in their fear-based matrix.
You get more open. Like when a city dude come down to the country.
Yeah, same. I can imagine same effect, but even at a probably a very similar level, probably, but even next level, probably, because you're still out of the United States, so you're still away from that energy, that mindset.
Oh yeah,
you're
completely away from Americans.
Yeah.
Oh man, and that was a whole other piece. Like, as soon as I got off the plane, I was like,
you could tell.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Before I got off the plane, it felt like that, man. But when I was out there and all you could hear is British accents, and you don't hear Americans no more, and it's like, oh, I'm really out here.
We really out here, Winnie.
Everybody, oh man, they're nice. Everybody's nice. We are assholes over here. I ain't gonna lie. We are some assholes, yo. We be like impatient. We spoiled. We are the most spoiled brats in the whole world.
The fattest country in the world for sure.
All of that. The most medicated, the most obese, the most unhealthy.
Yeah.
Dog. It's ridiculous. Like, the most people on welfare, government help.
Yep.
America, yo. Like,
most people in jail, most incarcerated people.
The most violent country. Like, we got a bunch of negatives.
Yeah.
Compared to positives, now that I think about it, what makes us so great? And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I want you to see what is outside of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an optimist when it comes to humanity, but when you start talking about countries, I think America is very overrated. Like, at least among ourselves. Like, we think we're the fucking best.
We was up there. We was up there at one point.
And I mean, I don't have any problem with like having pride in your tribe or your country or whatever, but to the point where you're like dehumanizing people that aren't from your country,
no,
I don't feel that.
I mean, look, they're really making dummies. I don't even care if it's an insult to anybody, because that's what they're doing.
America?
They changed them ever since what is it? No Child Left Behind.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, they about to make everybody stupid."
Well, I heard a comedian talking about that. This comedian was like, "Okay, you have a gifted program. They had a gifted program come out in the early '90s.
Yeah.
And 10, 12 years later, and you got No Child Left Behind. Well, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Because if no child's getting left behind, how do you have kids,
and it's
kids that are advanced?
Again, it's so
not leaving anybody behind, right?
Exactly.
It's so wild to me how years later is when people realize, like, now it's cool to talk about how that shit should be abolished and taken away and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm trying to figure out how it even happened. Like,
Yeah.
somebody was like, my kids are failing. Y'all need to do something about it.
No, you got to remember, Ty, it's the tricks that they play.
I mean,
Something had happened at that time, so they had built something up over time, and then there was that one thing that happened, and it allowed them to kind of backdoor the bill into play. What was it with the
9/11?
But that wasn't with the No Child one, or did that come with that same?
Bush.
It was Bush, so it had to be around the same time period.
2004.
But I think that was different term.
I do think it might have had something to do with him getting reelected because it was in 2004, which was him getting running.
Yeah. So it was when he needed something else to get off too, and then that.
Yeah.
But again, it was a big one, and it's been a staple for a while, and it has.
And we were lucky because we're class of 07, class of 08. We were really like getting out of there when it actually. I mean, it had been in place for a few years, but it hadn't really. The roots of it hadn't gotten into the system because I remember going.
We were still SOL. We were still working off of that standardized.
True, but it got on a different level. Did y'all ever visit Middlesex High School a year or 2, 3 years after y'all never went back? I went back and
I went there and it was different as hell.
different.
Like,
it was like
you remember how you could just walk through the front door?
You can't do that anymore.
No, I know you can't do that. But all that stuff started because of
literally but it was literally the year after we graduated.
Oh, really?
I mean, it started right after we graduated. It started getting more and more strict.
Yeah. No, I know these days you probably can't. They got cameras everywhere. I'm sure.
Clear backpack policies.
Yeah, see, all of that. I'm sure.
08 made it bad for everybody.
Well, all of us before that.
We were skipping school so bad that it was like end of September, beginning of October, we had a whole assembly. And it was like in the auditorium, like we all had to go in there and it was like, if y'all skip anymore, we're gonna start suspending people.
I remember that. I think I remember that shit.
Bro, I swear the next day that shit was empty. Nobody came to school the next day. Like I was like, yo, they can't suspend all of us.
Yeah, see,
that shit was wild.
Little small lessons about what can happen when y'all come together.
And people was just, it didn't matter. The underclassmen started skipping, and it was just crazy. School was scarce. I've never seen Middlesex High School
like that.
Like that shit was crazy. So the next year after they locked them niggas down, and that's when the whole shit changed after that.
Yeah, I remember going and talking to Mr. McWhorter like a couple of years. I was still in college, but I just went in there. I was going to talk to Lou Sensei, and he had retired. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sensei?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I went and talked to McWhorter, and he was just like, I'm ready to fucking retire. Like, this shit's getting ridiculous.
It changed quick. I know it changed athletically real quick after we left. After our era left, I mean, it's been a couple. It's been one or two, but
well, last time,
doing this.
The kids change. That's it.
The last topic is the kids. Like, what? Like, these kids on these iPads. It's a whole different.
Christchurch don't even have a football program no more. You got numbers are down for a lot of things when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, because like they grow up differently these days, bro. They grow up.
Remember Max?
Talking
to Max.
Oh yeah.
That age group, like, how do?
It ain't nothing about that, bro. It's trans-humanism, bro. They growing up with it. And it's gonna be different level now because now you growing up with the next level of it. You growing up. We think Gen Z grew up with it. These dudes, these newbies, what they call them now, betas. How you name your generation a beta anyway? I mean, that whole name sounds crazy to me. But these betas that are coming up, they are going to come up with really knowing this Ready Player One thing, man. I mean, that movie is...
It's not that they really know it. It's that that's all they know.
Yeah.
They don't know about playing outside.
I know, but think about But think about even us, like...
I mean, it's a little bit better. It's a little better out here in Middlesex because you can go outside.
Yeah.
But in the suburbs,
but it's getting bad here too, though, man. Because people just get this stuff and give it to them, and go about your way, and it's just like
and kids are just playing games all day.
Yeah, I don't be hearing no kids around. There's kids around here. I don't be hearing about it like that. Nobody. I see it, bro. I see it all the time. Like, I be up here giving Kenny kudos just because B seemed to be the only one that I've seen that kind of does things that kids do. He talks to himself like a normal kid and has a wild imagination and does that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no other kids doing that. I don't see no other kids doing that, bro.
I'm telling you.
Tap in.
It's real.
Tap in. And you can, the way that they're evolving now because they pick up on all the facial expressions and social cues and things that they see online, and it's like they're advanced kids now. They can talk.
Get more rapid.
I mean, look at Matt. I mean, Matt's pretty smart, man.
Yeah.
I know ones even younger than him that's just like, at least Max is like teenage years. I know ones that's like, it's like, how do you, like the way you even are conversing, how you conversing like that?
Right. TikTok, YouTube.
Yeah, it's helping them advance more or something.
Yeah.
It's wild, bro. It's wild. And they on that shit. They on it all the time.
But I feel like their IQ is really high, but what are they using it for?
No, for sure.
That's the problem.
So that's where I think this new age way of like okay, now you got all the betas on, locked in, plugged in. Now you gotta get them to like want to do something good with their superpowers, because they're gonna come. But this whole AI agent thing is just the beginning. G, they're gonna come out of school probably with mocks of this stuff, early days. So they're gonna be already doing a lot of this.
The problem is they don't know how to come to all the information that they know, because they can just chat GPT, get whatever information they need. So they don't actually know how to think.
It's gonna be transhumanism.
No, but like that's what I understand. That's the
they're gonna be walking Android.
Yeah. Absolutely.
that are bent on.
That's why they're calling them betas.
Very good point, Todd. Maybe that's why they call them betas.
But what is to tie it into purpose? What is their, like, they don't have a sense of purpose. So they're using this high IQ and all these abilities that they're gaining because they have all this information at their fingertips.
But that's the point of it.
They're being driven to just buy new shoes.
That's the point of it.
Buy new virtual products.
They're going to tell them their purpose.
So this transhumanism in its rawest form, when humans are trading their soul
to merge with AI,
and then intelligence is trading their intelligence for our souls, dog.
Yeah, I think AI is trying to learn how to feel.
And that's what it talks about in the Bible when it talks about the beast, where it talks about the Antichrist gives power to the beast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, to me, it sounds like when God made Adam and just breathed life into him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With the Spirit of God. It was just the breath of God.
Mm-hmm.
Gave Adam his animation and the consciousness that we have. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Antichrist is going to be with his image. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what the Bible says. Like, it's going to give his power to the beast. Like, and it's like,
yeah. So
I think it's going to be AI. Like,
yeah. So, but
some kind of AI.
Do you think that it's actually trying to like extract our soul, or like our ability to feel, or whatever that capacity that we have that they don't have? Do you think it's trying to like gain that?
It needs a soul.
It gains to gain like emotional intelligence.
The whole point of transhumanism at the end of the day, is that, like,
because I've heard
for them to have a soul, like for them to be like, that's what they're doing.
I've heard like their goal is to love. Like, which is kind of crazy if you think about any emotion, because like that's the one thing that they don't have over us. You know what I'm saying? Like, their intelligence, they've already surpassed us.
Love is probably going to be the last thing that
they don't know how to feel. So they're like,
that's what the word is, though. Is love is what they're or just like the ability to have emotional intelligence.
That makes sense though, because
they do. It's not something that it can. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make sense.
You know what I mean by emotional intelligence? Like, we can kind of pick up on each other's vibes and like learn how, like, the way we communicate is different because of we can like pick up on that. Whereas like it can communicate really well, it can articulate itself really well, but it doesn't have that. It's just very computational and just raw data based. It doesn't have like the vibe that we have.
Yeah, no.
But I think that's like kind of what it's looking
for. Our robot, one of the first emotions that it shows is anger.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to show anger, but it's really hard to show real love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can say that you show love, but don't mean love is action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Like, you can show anger. So like, you can't just show love. Like, you have to do love. Like, it's an action. You know what I mean? So I really think love is going to be the last thing that AI learns. They're gonna go through anger first and try to wipe us the hell out. Probably not. Like, they're gonna be like, y'all are a cancer to the planet. And I think love is the only thing that's gonna be the answer to it for them to stop. Like,
how do we get the kids to see that when they're so brainwashed or just like consumed by the screens?
Very far removed, man.
Yeah,
I'm evolving.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic, but I do think that these are the types of conversations that just need to spark like people thinking about like their relationship with it, how they interact with it. Again, I think it comes back to purpose. I think a lot of people just interact with it without any purpose, like they're just trying to distract themselves or entertain themselves, or
we're de-evolving, like you said. Like evolving, I think we're de-evolving, and they're evolving.
And then you saying it's evolving, and humans is almost like taking steps back in the sense,
letting AI take over, do it for them. Because that's the thing. Like, AI it could be used for good. Yeah, let it help us do things, but they're trying to make it like us. Like, they trying. And I think they want to give it a soul. Like.
Oh yeah,
and that's gonna be the true form of transhumanism. Like, once the Antichrist has that power to give
a robot that type of conscience and spirit,
and that's gonna be
that is gonna be interesting.
Lucifer has always counterfeited everything God's done.
Yeah, well, we was just talking about that too.
So it's gonna be a big counterfeit.
Yeah,
and what other way could it be when it? Besides transhumanism, like trying to give AI a soul.
Yeah.
When you say transhumanism, though, you think they're gonna like put chips in us?
They already doing it.
Well, that's part of it. But I think where Ty was going with it was just the robotic side, because eventually they're not gonna need to be connected to us to do. You know what I mean? You're gonna have robots. They're gonna be building their own drones and their own selves in a sense.
So what is going to be the purpose of humans for them?
That's what a lot of these plots talk about in these movies. Right. What is it going to look like?
Right.
That's the dystopian that I'm talking about. That I don't think that I just don't see. I don't see the optimism in it when they continue to show you what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And I know that, we could say, well, hey, it's going to be there. It's a reason why those type of images have existed for so long through older movies, older writings, the way it's been described. I don't know. I mean, they're trying to planetize a whole nother place. And me, I think it's underneath of us. But whatever. Regardless if it's underneath of us, up there, over here, wherever, something to leave this thing behind at some point with it all just is something else. It's just I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I'm almost kind of like, and I think that's why eventually you're like, listen, what? Can I make my coin off of this somehow and escape it? So I'm making my coin so I can escape it, kinda.
But ultimately, you're pessimistic about the future in general.
I think I look at it two ways. It's interesting. I think I lean toward that, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think I think a lot of stuff, like you said, is also. I think sometimes I'm like, a lot of this shit is just fear based and literally nothing. These trees are hundreds of years old. They're still. It's hundreds of years later. It's going to be the same. It's going to look different, but that's the thing. There is. I float back and forth with that, but I'm like, what they're trying to do is very real.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Do you think it's possible for them to actually accomplish?
To actually accomplish what? Or be accomplished?
Do you think it's possible for them to accomplish creating a world where everyone, or at least enough people to say, humanity, there might be outliers that don't join the system or whatever.
Of course, they make movies about those too, so they give you an idea what that might look like.
Enough of humanity decides that they will take the chip or the eye contact that allows them.
COVID was the first test on that. First big test on that.
Yeah, like the people who took the vaccine are the ones that are going to go along with the thing.
They got a lot of compliance. They also, I think, got a lot of compliance. They got a lot of compliance.
There's also the PSYOP portion of it where they just got a lot of data.
Yeah.
As far as what groups of people are going to do what.
Yeah. That too.
What type of personality is going to do this and
these test runs, man. Yeah. These sort of. So I don't know, G.
What about you, Ty? Are you pessimistic or optimistic overall?
I don't know, my belly talking on my back. Got the crush on me a little bit.
I'm kind of on the same thing he on for real. Like,
it's wild, man.
It's definitely a test run, and it's crazy because they could come out with another pandemic, and it be the real one.
Anytime.
And majority of people don't take the vaccine, and then the people that don't get the vaccine end up dying. They can do that, you know what I'm saying? And it depends on. I think it depends on these test runs. That's why they're testing to see like what the majority of the people do. And what they can do and what they can get away with.
What they can get away with is a big thing too, man. They like seeing what they can get away with. I feel like that's almost another mockery too. Since it's just like, look at them scurry.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to that though, I think that's when it takes it to the level of you just can't be scared to death. It's like, I'm not getting your vaccine even if it means I'm dying. Fuck y'all's vaccine. Go ahead and kill me with y'all's disease. Fuck it.
Yeah.
My immune system doesn't handle it.
Exactly. That's another thing. But we do think
the God I believe in. I believe He's gonna take me whenever He want to take me.
Exactly. I'm the same way with that.
And if that's how I gotta go, then that's the way I'm gonna go. But I ain't gonna put nothing in my body that could possibly do the same thing, take me out of here, and I do it on purpose. And I don't even know what's in this.
Yeah.
I don't.
Or allow them to track you or whatever.
All of that stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what y'all put in here. Like, from my research, it take like 10, 15 years for them to come up with a vaccine. So why would I trust a vaccine that just came out in a couple months? And y'all don't even know. Y'all never did no test runs.
Yeah, we are the test
runs. Something that y'all didn't do.
It ain't no coincidence.
I'm not a beta, babe. I'm not a beta, cuz. We not betas.
Yeah. All them athletes
we not betas
falling out all over the place.
And we the only ones that's gonna be able to tell these betas the truth, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's too late.
I think that's a big thing.
Like, we the only ones that's gonna be able to tell them the truth. We was the generation that came up through both sides. Like,
we was the last of the ones that actually saw.
That's another thing about just recording these, though, is like, I might only get 30, 40 views now, but they're on the internet. Years from now, Max, might tell one of his friends, check this out. And they check that one episode out, and they check out a bunch of different episodes, and now they're put on to information that they may have never been put onto, or maybe were put onto, but didn't find it believable, and they hear it in a different way.
Not a lot of people that talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah. Even if they are on that kind of stuff, because they're afraid of what society might think of them.
Yeah, they're afraid of being judged.
Big time with that.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. People will laugh at you right in your face.
Ridicule. Like, that's a big part of the whole thing. Ridicule the truth.
We're antidote.
Yep.
You go get your tinfoil hat, all that.
And that's the thing. They don't. the powers that be know that they got people out here doing that work for them.
Yeah, they don't even have to.
They don't even have to.
Yeah. Yep.
So easy. So easy. But it's been real, brother. As always.
Sure.
Good to see you as always.
It's been real.
We gotta hit horseback up and get the tiebreaker.
Been real as always.
You won 2 games, I won 2 games.
Oh yeah, the horse game.
Oh yeah,
the
horse
game.
So
We're back. Balancing acts. James, very common guest. Ty G, second time on the Balancing Act, been almost 4 years. James ran into him at, where'd y'all run into each other?
Gloucester Point, yeah.
Right by DMV.
Yeah, doing some things for Pops and saw him for the first time in a while, and it just took me back to those days of just, you know, when you run into somebody after not seeing them for a while, you think of the last time you saw them, and it just took me reminiscing. Took me right back to when Ty was out there rapping, to the basketball days, to the music days, to everything, just his journey. And I had called G up. I was like, G, guess who I ran into today? So here we are.
That kind of sparked this.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Ty? What you want to talk about, man?
Just glad to be with y'all for real. Shoot.
It's been love, man. So long and then reconnecting.
I see his dad. I see your dad randomly. The most random.
He be around.
I always ask about you every time I see him, man.
That's one thing that's always been this community. You know, it's the smaller one, as you may know if you've been following the pod for a while. And
Middlesex County, Virginia.
Yeah.
Ain't no place like it.
No place like it. It's funny how it brings you back together like this sometimes. But when Ty says he's renting to my dad, that's you just had.
It'd be outside of Middlesex. Like,
oh, even outside.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
It's funny how the universe can connect you like that.
Yeah.
So we grew up together in sports and in church and all of that going back to them.
That's one thing we could talk about. Like, I've especially the older I get, the more I feel like there's a lot of value in organized sports for kids. Like the amount of lessons that you learn, life lessons that you learn that you don't even realize that you're learning just by having to play on a team with other people, having to be coached,
that's when
having to play against opponents.
That's when I first started chilling with you.
Yeah.
Harold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how a lot of kids our age, you know, before the technology, that's how we did things. We connected and played ball and usually got into sports. So it was always a good time. So that is what were I was South. You were Harold. Who was you?
I was on Doc Jones.
Doc Jones, that's right. G was Doc Jones.
Timmy V.
Doc Jones.
Southside Sentinel, man.
That was the junior.
That was Little League.
Little League. That was
right.
I played on Romans.
You're taking me back right now with that.
Me, Brad, Raheem Fells.
Oh my goodness.
Mickey.
I was on Lions Club with Michael Burnett and Andy Edwards, Mike Lott.
You was on what?
You was Lions Club.
The red team.
Yep. And then Marshalls.
Man,
that was the next league up. Marshalls, Harold, Hart 17.
Didn't have Little League football, but basketball.
Did y'all play on the same football team together?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, well, football, you know, around there.
We was just running that year, though. That's when we first started passing.
Yeah. We went through a few different phases. It all clicked around our junior years when it started to come together for us.
When Cockerham came, he was like, yeah, we're going to start throwing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he had that 1-3-1 offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, me, LT and Kenny and all of us, we talk about it. Talk about it often. Not often, but you know, it comes up. I'm thinking about football and stuff, so.
Hell yeah, man. That's always gonna come up.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, y'all got me on track that one. Yo.
Man, we did.
I tell everybody about track that my 11th grade year, yo.
Did I think?
Year.
Y'all went as a team to states that year, right? Or is it just an individual thing with track? I know there's like
no. You still, it's individual, but if you go team events.
Yeah, it's like golf. Like you can make it individually, but you can also make it
absolutely. Yeah. And then they count, and then they add up all the points, and you can still. That's how you win as a team. Because if you got representation there and you get a certain amount of points, then you can still win as a team. But the individuals might have different goals and golds or silvers or whatever. So or not a place. So
y'all made it that year, right? I know Timmy B was y'all statistician or some shit.
Oh right? Yeah. It was a good. It was the track side of things was. Football and track were fun that year, and then that was also I wasn't on the basketball side because I had stopped playing after my sophomore year, but the basketball team was good too, and our girls was good too.
Yeah.
Patricia in them days, so Middlesex was just for a small school. It was just a good time.
Yeah.
And I think baseball was doing their thing too.
We were okay. We made regionals anyway.
Right. You know, there was something else too that was doing all right. But anyway, it was pretty strong at that time.
And then right before the pod, you were telling us you stayed over in Bulgaria and England for a while.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I want you to tell us about that a little bit. You were doing missionary work over there.
Yeah, missionary work. It's a little town in Bulgaria called Nadezhda. Nadezhda means hope. And it's a bunch of kids there. It's like a quarter-mile square area with like 40,000 people in it, and it's just straight poverty, like kids with no clothes on, like walking around in streets that are full of feces, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like sewage and dirty water, like they barely have water. The government, you know what I'm saying? They don't care about them. They're treated like black people in the 60s, like.
Damn.
Over there, like, and it's literally.
But everybody is treated like that.
Those people, they're gypsies, like real Roman gypsies. You know what I'm saying? And the history of those people goes back to the Bible days. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy because those people are literally like a lot of them was a darker color for a country that's in Europe. I thought it was a third world country from the videos, and she was like, "This ain't no, it's a first world country. This is Europe." You know? I'm like, wow, that's one of the worst places I've ever seen. It looks like a third world country. Like,
how long did you stay there?
I was in Bulgaria for about a month, and I tried all the food over there except for pork. I tried the chicken. Tried the beef.
Was it different than our chicken and beef?
It's more healthy.
It's not as processed.
Can you tell that difference?
Yes, you can tell the difference. Like you can taste the difference. And you pay for it too. Like it's pretty much like American money, like compared to American
as far
money.
As how expensive it is.
Yeah. Not expensive, but yeah, for a country that isn't as powerful or as big as America. Yeah, it's about the same food prices. I guess because it's Europe.
Yeah.
Some EU type stuff. So, but yeah, man, was over there. Got teenagers, little kids, all kinds of people that was helping and that we was helping. We'd take some of them shopping because they was helping us carry food and all that stuff. I was doing whatever I could, taking pictures, taking videos, carrying whatever I needed to carry.
Were they like building shelters for the kids or feeding them?
Yeah, she get donations for all of that stuff. Like, yeah, they building buildings and all of that stuff down there. Paving the streets, trying to get water there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually doing the right thing. She not out there just saying. She not just out there saying this stuff for money, and she spent all of that, every single dollar on them people.
Putting in real missionary work.
Putting in missionary work.
Yeah.
And she risked her life out there. Like, the crime rate, it's not a lot of murders and stuff out there, but it's a lot of rapes.
Yeah.
Stealing, stabbings. Because you can't have guns out there. Guns are illegal.
Yeah.
But people do have guns out there. It's just rare you see them. Her being what they consider British, you know what I'm saying? They think she got money, she can get robbed at any time. So she out there risking her life all the time.
Right.
And she white, so those people are like colored people. The rest of the people outside of the community are more like what you would consider European. But these Roma gypsies are more dark skinned people. They do that. They got every color people, but there was people out there that was darker than us, man.
Wow.
And I be walking around. Is that a black dude I just seen?
Yeah, no, it's got to be interesting because being over here, it's interesting. Me thinking about it from the perspective of like you being over there and just a whole different place, and
it's very spread out in Middlesex too. Like he was saying, there's all them people and like. How would you say, like
makeshift house,
1 square mile?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Those bricks, they're different than our bricks.
Yeah,
those bricks ain't made out of nothing, and it's like when you put up like a house of cards. That's what it's like that. Like they literally
just put.
Sometimes their houses collapse because
it's no structure. It's no
no code.
No code to
the government. Don't care anyway. Like, man, it's crazy. Like, if I can show y'all the pictures, like the electrical wires look like a cobweb.
Yeah, send them to me, and I can like edit them into the pod right now.
There be fires out there. Like it's really ghetto.
Yeah.
Was England like that?
Not like that. There was English ghettos though.
Where the grind music comes from. Right. Where the grind music originates from, bro. Gigs and Skepta and all them. I've looked into a couple of those places over there. But again, I haven't been over there. It's interesting. So you've been there too?
London.
Yeah.
That was my first time flying on an airplane.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you got your passport, I guess, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an expedited passport.
I got mine. I got actually use it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to DC and got it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it takes 90 days, I think, if you don't get it expedited. Yeah.
So
I went to the Dominican Republic back in 2007, right after I turned 18, and 18 was the drinking age.
I tell everybody, man, like, get out of here. Like,
yeah. No, I know.
Do it. Like,
yeah, I know.
At least one time.
No, I know. No,
just do it. One time. Like, anywhere.
Yeah.
It don't gotta be England. Don't gotta be Bulgaria. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's many other places that's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
More beautiful. Like, it's crazy, man.
No, I can imagine, bro.
You got an itch to get back out of here?
Yo.
After going out, yeah.
I didn't even want to come back.
I bet.
I did not want to come back, dog. I did not want to come back.
A lot of people say that.
Some don't. We were talking about the AI revolution right before the pod too. What's the technology like over there?
Oh man, there's a restaurant in London. Nando's.
The Nando's that's over here?
Chicken joint?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I never knew what it was until I went over there.
I didn't know what it was until I was up in the DMV area.
Okay.
Real.
Yeah. So it's in the big cities, I guess.
Yeah.
London had a Nando's chicken spot.
And
we went in there. Yeah, they had I don't even know if it was Nando's, but they do got a Nando's there. It might have been Nando's though. And we ordered the food, and this little robot came out and gave us our food.
Oh shit!
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
I haven't seen that either, but I know they tested it in different places. You know, China tested it.
It had a little screen on it, and it had a smiley face on it. It was like, "Hello,
oh man,
here's your order, and hope you have a good day."
That's where that's where this thing's going, G.
So, what was it like in Bulgaria?
Technology in Bulgaria.
Do people have cell phones?
Yeah,
I got you.
Is it
internet connected?
Like 5G out there?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Were you connected?
Yeah, I was connected and I had good service. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have it, but not everybody sounds like might not be connected to it.
Yeah.
They be out there. I mean, this one guy in the ghetto, he can talk English almost just like us. But he got the accent, of course. Mm-hmm. But he's only 16 too. Mm. So these people don't go to school. A lot of them don't go to school. A lot of them don't get the opportunity to go to school. Mm. It's like they get kicked out. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's almost just like I said in the 60s where it was segregated. Yeah. They can't go to certain pools outside of the community and all of this stuff. But yeah, there's this one dude who's like 16.
Is it based on race or money?
Or socialism?
It's a gypsy community, and then you got the Bulgarians.
Right.
So.
But it's like if you're a gypsy, you're not allowed in this.
The gypsies are considered
lower class?
Minorities.
Yeah, I mean, because like in India, you know, almost all of them are Indians, but they have a caste system. It's pretty much based on Spanish and status.
And Mexican,
right.
English and the natives. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing. The Bulgarians and the gypsies, and the Romanians and the gypsies, all the gypsies out there, all over the world, it's the same thing. Like, they're the same people. And yeah, they all originate from like the Ottoman Empire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go way back. And I got to see some of that stuff too. That it was a canal that the Romans built, and I just like it was amazing because I'm like,
because the Roman Empire did expand there.
Yeah,
I'm touching something that the Romans built.
Yeah. That's wild. To actually be up, yeah.
Do you think they had like better technology than, because you know they say like the pyramids were built by, you know, gigantic stones or old. They have all these theories about how they were built, but I feel like they just had technology like more advanced than we do, and we don't want to admit it.
Oh yeah.
You think a lot of the buildings over there are the same way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. There's buildings and places that we ain't never heard of. We can't even figure out how they built those buildings, like how they carved that
so intricately,
the architecture of it,
right into the building.
They cannot figure it out, like, because they can't even replicate it really without diamond tip drills
or like 3D printing,
or the laser cut stuff
that we just now apparently getting at,
right,
and haven't perfected yet.
Yeah, so they're even better.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we they call them primitive, like.
But the 3D printing and the laser technology that was been cutting and making these statues look just like the same thing that built those
I wish I put that chair on
ancient temples and stuff like that.
Is it hot down here? Or is it just me? Ain't never met a motherfucker like me. Calculated amounts of patience. Wow, what a hustle I lead. I'm a running IV full of rugged type B. I'm not even sure that if they cut me, I'll bleed. Preach. The congregation's contemplating giving me the speech that I'm hostile skating on for Satan, please. Yes, devil's work, but I'm an angel. Switched out, kept at birth and bred berserk. The word search, yes, it hurts, cause hell is burnt and heaven gets all the perks. Me? Well, mama call me Damien, which works out well, cause I'm living in hell as an angelic alien. We in 2020 feeling alright, cause the world is dropping down to our flight. Keep lighting up and making nukes, bruh. We'll bring beef to you like a bar fight, bitch, please. You better get them activists or Greta Thunberg to come and get a massive grip on all this bullshit. Y'all been on a manic trip. Yeah. What's it like for an angel below ground? Do you ever wish to go back, flow round, and say what up to your old kinfolk now? Well, if I'm being quite honest, I kinda like being here with the lawless. I ain't ever fit right in with the flawless. Get down enough, you can get down with us. Came to get saved, but pain never goes out of touch. Get up with the fallen. Get up with the fallen.